Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our Ohio AGCO Farm here on the Ohio Richlands map. I believe, if my memory serves, we are about to do a little planting. We're going to make this our grass field. We don't have solid fertilizer, I guess, so just plant the grass. Um, if you're new to the series, thank you so much for clicking on the video. I appreciate you being here. This is Bluebelly Farms, and the storyline behind this farm is essentially, this guy, this character that I'm terrible at role playing, so I'm just telling you about the story. You know, somebody owned this farm. They bought a bunch of new equipment back in the 90s, early 2000s, late 90s. And then they went belly up, and they had to, farm went into foreclosure, all that jazz. And so then this character, has been watching a lot of YouTube videos about homesteading and buy your own piece of land and get out there in the countryside. And so he does just that. He purchases this farm with all the equipment, all this vintage AGCO equipment, but it was terribly overgrown, so he had to figure things out. And he invested, a significant portion of his business earnings from over the years, and he's now $500,000 in debt with a farm that is currently not really profitable. So that's the story behind what we're doing here. If you're wondering how we have $26,000 up in the corner, that's basically due to completing 2 fertilizing contracts. This farm had an old fertilizer spreader, so we sold off some equipment we knew we weren't going to use. I think it was like a manure spreader, a slurry spreader, something like that we sold because we don't have animals. So it was a cool thing that was on the farm, but we weren't going to be using it, at least not anytime soon. So we sold that and invested the cash into the solid fertilizer, which we were able to apply on those fields, and bingo bango, we are in a much, much better position now. I know this is a disturbingly small planter, a seeder for pretty much any field bigger than what we're doing. But this little grass crop here is going to be, for now, we'll probably just make some hay bales on it. We have a mower, a tedder, and a baler. So we'll just make hay bales. We can run them right up the street here to sell when we get a batch. It won't be a lot of income, but it's something we can do. And maybe in the future, we had talked about potentially getting beef cattle for this farm. I don't know that I've ever had beef cattle. But realistically, what this guy has decided to do with this piece of property is make a farmer's market, which is why we have those 2 greenhouses down there. So if the beef cows work out and you have grass-fed beef, people pay really good money for grass-fed beef. So I think that's a cool role play, the cool little wrinkle, and I'm already envisioning potentially either moving the bees and putting the cows in the middle here, or maybe we put the cows along the fence row on that flat area. I don't know, but regardless of where we put the cows, this job needs to be done. So that's the recap. That's where we're at. If you're wondering about this tractor, I had a couple people ask comments, leave comments. This is a Deutz Allis 9170. Yes, they have them in the United States. yes, even in the Midwest, I did some research on Tractor House to make sure that all of the vehicles that are used in this save are realistic to the Midwest, to Ohio. So I actually found one for auction as of when I started this save, like, I don't know, 3 months ago. So yes, it's an accurate vehicle. If you're not familiar with the AGCO Farms story, it's basically Allis-Chalmers was an old brand, kind of a classic American old iron brand that got bought out years ago, and then the larger corporation just kept buying other people out, which is why we have a white tractor, because white merged with them, and then they ended up getting like New Idea, and they've had some plow companies, they had manure spreaders. I mean, really, AGCO, you can run an entire farm with all AGCO equipment. They bought Heston balers, which for some reason, and this is my own thing, but I thought that Heston balers were British. It just kind of sounds like a British name, doesn't it? Heston balers. But it's not. It's an American brand. And so we have a Heston baler. We had a New Idea spreader. And I may buy one if the Angus cows, if the beef cows that I plan to get actually will produce manure, then I'll get a spreader again, and we'll use that for fertilizer. But can you imagine? I mean, how realistic is that, to have a farmer's market that has tomatoes, strawberries, and lettuce in the greenhouses growing year round, and then they grow their own hay to feed their cows. They have beef cows for local Angus beef, and then our fields are arable crop fields. We're gonna plant. Actually, I need to check when to do that. It should be soon. We're gonna plant in feed grain so that we can get straw. So, like wheat and barley is what I mean. I guess we could do oats. Or is that feed grain? Is that the right word? Maybe what I mean is cereal crops. Yeah, that's what I mean. So I think that's a viable strat. You guys let me know in the comments if you think that makes logical sense. What I would love to do in the long run, we can't right now because we don't have the money and we can't take out a loan, but I'd love to put a building down there for the farmers market. I'd love to do a little paved area. If I can figure out how to do parking lines, that'd be cool. Like have a little parking lot and make it so that, hey, this looks like a place where people pull in, they park, they buy their produce here. I think that'd be really fun. I do. And then it'll be so cool when we finally get all this established to go back and look at what this farm looked like in episode 1 and see how far we are able to make it. This little role play I did here in the middle with the old barn that we then had the fire department burn down, I think that was a really cool idea. But I'm so bad with the terraforming, and it costs money. You can't just monkey around with terraforming for fun. So I'm anxious about trying to make that work for the new cow pen when we get there. I should price that though, just for fun. Okay. We missed a few spots. I know that's probably triggers some of you guys, but you'll live. I'm thinking just for kicks. Animals. Cows. So this one is 75K. And it's no barn, they're just out there. Then we have this guy, which is huge, but does make sense. This guy, oh. Do I need to go on that back side to do food and stuff? Oh, I do like that though. And then this one is the one that makes the most sense because it's the most affordable. You know, we could put this like here. We can move the bees, put this here, and then put the third greenhouse there. Here's the cheapest way. If we move these two things, we could plop this down right now. Put a little custom fence around it and already have Angus cows. Wow, look at that. Now this would be the thing to do. We don't have 100 grand, but I may start a farm just to use that mod. Yeah. So maybe we do another contract and we can get this place down. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to move these, or if I'm gonna have to sell it. But that's another thing that we theoretically are selling in our store. I don't want to, gosh. I don't want to waste this space in the middle of our property though, you know. Kind of feels like we should, if we're going to do a cattle barn, it kind of feels like we should put it here in the middle. Like, what would that look like if we tried something like that, or maybe put it here. And I do like this red one. Not enough money. Or we could run it like, yeah, the hillside is gonna make that tough to pull that off. Something like this wouldn't be the end of the world. We could put a path down between the fields, cut this field off by a little bit, put it down here. I can't say that I'd hate that. It would feel a little more established than the little one. Yeah. It's hard to say what to do with this middle section. Maybe we put the market there. And do the parking lot here in the middle. Plenty of decisions to make. Alright, let's see. So, we could probably take this over and park it. Oh no, I need to check. Okay. Oh, wheat and barley are fall crops. Oh no. Okay, oats it is. Oh, that was easy to decision. That should be seed there, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh man. Should I buy fertilizer? Oh, I have fertilizer. That's right. I have fertilizer from the big job we did. So, yeah, I guess I'll start with the upper field here and get this guy done. 'Tis the season to be planting. Fa la 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 la. So this is my first time planting my own crop on this land. What a feeling, you know? I am not a farmer in real life, so maybe some of you guys can speak to it a little bit, but I imagine that's quite a feeling to cultivate your land and plow it, get the seed bed ready, and then off you go, hoping that it takes, and it's going to be a good, bountiful crop. Correct me if you're still watching the 16-minute mark. Let me know down in the comments. My understanding is that you don't actually do the headland when you're planting. Is that correct? That you go up and down the field and then you do the very headland, the very ends last. Let me know if that's the case, and maybe I'll do our other field the proper way if you inform me. I think it's funny how this game has taught me a little bit about the economics of farming, but mostly just how wildly inefficient most equipment is. This is a 3-meter seeder, and keep in mind this farm, this entire operation was one field in the base map. I've just turned it into this multiple field, multiple system thing for my own sanity. But some of the fields on these maps, I mean, you're talking real life sitting there for 2 hours to do one job. And I love Farm Sim. I love Farm Sim. Potentially my all-time favorite game. And I can't do that. I can't sit in the same field for 2 hours. I need that feeling of advancement. Like, oh, okay, we're really moving along here. I like that feeling. Progress. Make money, buy cooler equipment. You need that. You need the juice. You need the feedback. I can't just sit and do the same job, even if it pays a lot. Like, you plan a massive field and maybe it gets you $100,000, so then you can buy all sorts of new equipment. But what are you gonna buy? More land, so you can do it all over again. It's a really interesting game in that sense. You play to buy the equipment to play more. But I guess if you ask most farmers, they probably tell you they reinvest their earnings often in new infrastructure, new equipment. So I'm just thinking, we're March, just real fun. Oh, yeah, real fun. Real quick, I'll take a look and see. Okay, all there is one plowing contract. Give me a break. Really? Now there's none. Great. Well, I guess we'll have to look in April, but I'm thinking there should be some fertilizing contracts. And if that's true, we can go do a few more of those and maybe get enough money to build a barn and buy some cows soon. I just feel like the sooner we get cows going and breeding, the sooner they become profitable. Maybe we can get a little cattle trailer. We no longer have a truck to pull the cattle trailer, so we'll have to take them with a tractor. But that's one thing I have been contemplating with this save, is maybe getting one of the old used truck mods, and then we can buy a realistic pickup truck for the playthrough, for the save. That one that I leased at the beginning was a really nice truck. I so badly wanted to use it, and it fit into the character role play well, right? Like, some guy doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, sure, I'll lease a truck for some ridiculous amount of money. What could go wrong? Why did I buy that trailer? Maybe that was that came with the farm. Yeah. I don't know what we could do with it. Maybe a little bit of logging. I don't think we've done any of that on this save. I haven't really done a very good job of using my screenshots, but I'll take one. Just for kicks. The issue, I don't know if any of you guys care about like YouTube stuff, or if you just like farms and tractors, but the issue that I've noticed with YouTube, like sometimes you work on a thumbnail and get a really nice thumbnail, and you get 30, 40 clicks, and then the very next video you just use a standard screenshot that YouTube recommends, a still from your video, and you get 500 clicks. It's like, well, I'm not going to bother with not going to bother creating a proper thumbnail if it literally does not affect performance at all. Because I don't know if you guys realize this, but what determines whether or not a video gets shared or pushed out to a broader audience all has to do with, do the people who initially see it click on it, and do the people who click on it watch it? So like when you see a video and it's Mr. Beast or whatever, somebody with 1 million views or 10 million or 100 million views, the weight of your view is limited. But if you click on a farm sim YouTuber who has 10 views and you're like, stupid Deutz Alice, I don't want to watch that tractor, and you click off, that's a significant, because you only had 10 views to begin with, and now you're number 11 and you clicked off. If 3 or 4 of those people clicked off, YouTube is going to say, this is a crap video, people don't like this, and so they're going to stop putting it out there. But if all 10 people say, wow, I really like this, I've never seen this tractor before, I want to watch, I want to learn, I want to pay attention, and they watch, let's say it's a 30-minute video, and they watch 25, 27, 30 minutes, they watch to the end, then YouTube says, okay, these farm sim people really like this farm sim video, and they'll start pushing it out to Daggerwind's viewers and Sim Farmers viewers and the Squad's viewers, right? And it'll start doing that. Now, then you get the flip side of maybe Daggerwind fans don't like me. I don't know that for sure. I wouldn't think so. But maybe some of them are like, oh, this American guy, he doesn't jump cut. He doesn't do time lapses. He's boring and I don't want to watch him, or whatever they think. Or that he's too American. He's too nasally, he rambles, whatever their reason is to not like me. So then YouTube is like, oh, this is a good video, we'll send it out to every farm sim person. Then those people are like, oh, I've never heard of Bluebelly, I'll click on it. They click on it, and then they don't like me for one of those reasons that I listed, and they click away. So then that's where you get the bell curve, right? You were trending upward, and then a bunch of people start not liking it, or they click away quickly, and it swoops back down. And that's, when people talk about the algorithm doesn't pick me up. The algorithm hates me. Well, that's not true. Your audience hates you. Which is worse, right? That's worse. So you need to figure out, okay, either I changed or the people watching my videos changed. Which one is it? And if you don't have any audience at all, that's a bigger question. But like for me, figuring out why some videos get 400 views and some videos get 40 views, that's a significant question. And I've experimented with length. I've experimented with footnotes, thumbnails. I've tried everything I can think of. And at the end of the day, I think what makes the best videos is if I'm having fun playing the game. Like this is fun. I'm enjoying this. I like this equipment. It's a nice size equipment. It's a nice farm. Beautiful day here in March of our second season on the save. I'm starting to feel the momentum. For a while there, I almost quit a couple episodes ago. But fortunately, I did those contracts, got us a little bit of cash. We're able to afford seed and get some crops going. This is going to make the whole farm feel more alive. Soon, hopefully, we'll get these Angus in that I'm talking about. Get some beef cattle. We'll get a nice little hay crop for them so that they have food to eat over the wintertime. We'll start getting them multiplying, and hopefully within 2 years we'll be able to start selling adult beef cows for profit. Okay, good timing. I was just about to say I need to go refill my seed, and we'll do that for next time. I'll probably finish this field off recording, and I'll bring you guys back next time for a little bit more. We'll advance the storyline. Thanks so much for being here. Bye for now.